What's happening, team? I'm going to talk about a subject that's really important for those that want to achieve more, and that's leading through confidence. Confidence, to me, is an oxymoron. You need confidence to be able to keep pushing forward and stay motivated and have the grit and determination to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. But the issue with confidence, you can break it. So what I'm going to do is break it down and give you an understanding and find that gap, which is actually self-awareness, for you to take, for you to run with, and be able to run this process through whatever you're feeling confident or not feeling confident with to hopefully elevate your performance. There are 4 key pillars that we have through confidence. And the first one is lowering the bar and raising the floor. A lot of the time what we do when it comes down to our physical, mental, emotional performance is we look as high as we possibly can and we see how low that we are right now. The issue with that is that's what's going to alienate you. There's a really good book called The Gap and the Gain. If you actually look about where you are right now and where you've been and seeing that gap, that's going to allow you to actually give you the realistic target of what's achievable over a certain time frame, rather than having this expectation of yourself to be able to complete everything at once. The next one is shedding perfection. Now, we have a terminology the clients that we work with is I'd rather be good most of the time than great once. Whenever people look at sort of them trying to put themselves out there, whether it's in a physical endeavor, whether it's from a vocational endeavor or leading a team, or even if it's at home, we're looking at for people to actually elevate themselves by 1%. And that's a continual consistency thing, not just a one shot, one kill thing, which, okay, there are freaks of nature that do that. But how many of you actually do that throughout your whole lifetime? If you can actually sit back and go, actually, what am I being good at the moment? And then what's the one thing I can elevate to bring it to everyone else's standard? You're going to connect that dot between that 1% and that one rung in the ladder and give you the opportunity to actually realize that being confident is massively important. The next one for me is trust your training. There's a big terminology for physical stuff is you sink to the levels you're training through chaos. The more that you expose yourself to hard things, the more that you expose yourself to tough times, the more you put yourself out there, from even whether it's from a marketing standpoint. People think that life in any skill is like playing a musical instrument. If you think that you can go out and just play Jimi Hendrix cold without never playing guitar before, you're going to struggle. The more that you practice, the better you're going to get. It comes across with everything. And this is what I have a lot of the time with people in the leadership space. They don't even practice things like communication. They don't practice things like actually what builds buy-in. They don't practice things that actually understanding the mechanisms of behavior. What they do is they just shout, scream, tell, dictate, and that's why they find this bottleneck of yes and no, rather than whenever we're in a sort of in a hostile situation, we need to understand how to dance with it, not fight it. And lastly, is what I want you to do is to develop a quiet ego, which, again, a bit of an oxymoron because everyone tells you shouldn't have an ego because that's going to make you lose your decision making. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you develop a quiet ego, this is something for yourself. What do you actually recognize that you're doing well? When was the last time you gave yourself a pat on the back? When was the last time you thought, actually, do you know what? I've absolutely fucking dominated that. When was the last time you gave yourself the principle of, actually, do you know what? That was really fucking hard and I finally got through it. I've literally just had this personally throughout my Ironman is I completed an Ironman basically with one lung in the marathon. Again, previous YouTube videos, go and watch them. At first, I found that extremely difficult to take because my alter ego was saying to myself, you failed. But actually, do you know what I did do is I went through I literally went to my physical edge of near collapse and I still completed the task. That doesn't give me a boisterous confidence to shout about, but that does mean I know I've got way more in the locker. I don't go around telling people that, but when times are hard, when business is business, or when I've got to think of things outside of the box or I'm in conflict, I can sit back and go, do you know what? When I was in that situation, I still had the ability to keep moving forward and making decisions and getting shit done, even though I didn't want to. So if you are sat there and you think that confidence is an issue, I want you to take those 4 filters. I want you to write down exactly what it is that you struggle with to the T, or what is actually that you're finding is knocking your confidence at the moment, and run it back, run it through those 4 filters, go through them, lowering the bar and raising the ceiling. Actually, what is lowering your expectations and how far do you actually need to go to make progress? Shedding perfection, so making sure you're not being a perfectionist, to making sure you can actually understand the adequacies of life and that things actually happen. It's not just a perfect plan, it's how you actually prepare and execute. And we're not looking for perfection, we're looking for progress. Trust in your training. If you haven't got training, get training. Not just doing willy-nilly random things. Plan and execute. And lastly is developing that quiet ego. I use this personally to using this bad boy. I write things down in third person about how things have gone. We use an after action review every single day. What went well? What did I learn from? What do I need to do tomorrow? What am I doing to help the bigger picture? I write that it's 4 sentences. I don't write wushu stuff. That could be very beneficial. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. If there's anything you guys need, want to learn about more, or want to discuss on this topic, I'd love to discuss more because it's very open-ended. And I'll catch up with you guys soon.